Ladies and gentlemen, it's done. The Westinghouse 8-inch Riviera restoration is finally complete. It's actually been complete for a month or two. I just haven't done a video on it because I'm lazy and I've had relatively low time. But, the steps I did was gave it a good cleaning. I re-glued some things right here. The rings were cracked. I glued them back together, including here. The base was really bent, and so I straightened out and then broke here, so I glued that back together. The two solder weld joints broke. I straightened out the pegs so that way it would tilt more smoothly right here. I lubricated the motor and thoroughly cleaned it and disassembled it. Yeah. I don't have much to say. You can look on the back at the informations. So as you can see, it draws 115 volts, or rated for 115 volts, 0.9 amps. Part, I don't know, Y35021. Cat number R-1020, serial of 1450 JK. And I don't know what the NP is. And made in USA. I think the Y is the year, so this was probably made in 1950, maybe? More about this thing. The switch still works. There's a common failure point on these. The motor is like your hex motor, kinda. Although a cheaper design. Or, I mean, there's 4 motor struts instead of 6. It has like a squatted hexagon. It has your steep pitched blades. You can see right there. I scrubbed this thing really good, but it still it looks the same. It's just not getting any cleaner. I was able to remove most of the rust off the base. And when I got it, the front grill was upside down, so I righted it. The back grill's kind of loose because there's these. Yeah, this doesn't have the best free spinning bearings. There's nothing much I can do about that. But right in here, there's a strut that screws into the rings and also holds the front guard in place. There's a screw here and a screw way back there, but on top, there's only one screw because the other hole's broken. So the back is kind of loose. Yeah, it's already pretty tight. This thing is really quiet and moves a great amount of air. Although this thing was a pain in the butt to clean because all these rings, this is a permanent assembly, except for the front and back grills and the motor. Pain in the butt to clean. And the motor was a pain in the butt to service because it started making these questionable sounds, which I don't know what they were from. I still don't. But we're gonna turn it first speed, which is high. And this thing's really quiet, I tell you. Actually, a few more things. It has like some foam feet that are riveted together onto this base, so they don't want to come off. This little thumb screw here and over here adjusts your resistance when tilting. It gets real stiff right here. Hey, it's fine. As you can see, you can probably see the frame flexing. because of its poor construction. Yeah. During my restoration project, I basically cleaned everything except for the hardware. That's better. I guess it's better. Before, ouch, you could hear it was making some interesting sound. It's no longer doing that. That was from the low oil. This thing took a tremendous amount of oil. I think it took like a whole fluid ounce of oil, or half an ounce in each bearing, which is quite a lot. And it's your typical anti-clockwise Westinghouse rotation. The motor's pretty silent. But anyways, we're going to start off on the high. Here we go. And this thing moves a mountain of air. And it really goes across the room. And it maintains about the same velocity too, while going across the room. So the highest I managed to read is 14.7, so you say your average is around 13 to 14 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, this thing is just ripping. Now we'll go to low. Which is about half the speed, which is a pretty good difference. And now the motor's making noises. Wow. So our max on low is 12, so we're probably getting between 11 and 12 miles an hour of air. And it still just carries just as far. And it's absurdly quiet, which I personally love. And a lot, I mean, these air injection rings really do work a lot. You can see it stuck in from the side. do I turn it off? I mean, a modern fan would have a longer spin time, but it's a piece of crap motor. Now, this motor is actually pretty good because if you can see, right there are little cooling fins on the rotor. Let's see if I can rotate this thing. Which actually cools the motor. Yeah. And this is a 4-pole shaded pole motor, so it's only reaching like 1,700 something RPMs, and it basically gets up there on full speed like all of them. And then let's do a startup on low, which actually is pretty lengthy. And it makes some interesting sounds here and there. Now these are advertised as being like your air circulator and also high velocity fans, and they really are high velocity. As you can also use them as a Hasek fan, like that, and move air through your house, or just do this and cool yourself off. But yeah, that's all I have for this fan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.